Welcome back to Coin Master. Today, we're diving deep into a humble yet historically rich coin, the 1967 United States 1-cent coin, also known as the Lincoln Memorial Penny. You might have one in your collection, or maybe even sitting unnoticed in a drawer. But here's the twist, some of these coins are now selling for over $1,200 in the market. Yes, that's $1,200 for a single penny. Stay tuned, because this video will walk you through exactly why this coin is valuable, what to look for, and how you might just be holding a hidden treasure. Let's begin with the basics. The 1967 penny is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series, which began back in 1909. This specific version features the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, which replaced the wheat ears design in 1959, commemorating the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. What makes 1967 especially interesting is its timing. The United States Mint had suspended the use of mint marks in 1965, 1966, and 1967 in an attempt to discourage coin hoarding during a coin shortage. That means every 1967 penny you see was struck without a mint mark, whether it came from Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. This change alone makes the 1967 penny a unique piece of numismatic history. But what really skyrockets its value are errors, rare varieties, and the coin's condition. Some 1967 pennies have sold for hundreds, even over $1,000, but not just any penny. The secret lies in minting errors and high-quality strikes. Let's look at the most valuable varieties collectors crave. A DDO is a result of a misalignment during the minting process where the design is stamped more than once, slightly off position. This can result in doubling that is visible in the date, the motto, "In God We Trust," or the word, "Liberty." These errors are scarce and highly sought after. Some examples in excellent condition have fetched well over $700 to $1,200 at auction. If the coin wasn't properly centered when struck, you get an off-center error. Depending on the percentage of the off-center strike and how much of Lincoln's profile remains visible, these can be worth between $100 and $500, sometimes more. These appear as raised lines or blobs on the coin where a damaged die created a flaw in the metal. While not always extremely valuable, some examples in excellent condition and unusual placements have sold for upwards of $100. Condition is everything in numismatics. A regular 1967 penny in your pocket change might only be worth a cent. But a coin that has been preserved in mint state condition, with no wear and beautiful luster, can command big money. Certified examples graded MS 67 or better by PCGS or NGC can reach $1,000 or more, especially if they also feature a desirable error. Let's take a moment to appreciate the design of the coin. On the obverse, we see a proud and iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln, facing right. Above him, the motto, "In God We Trust," a timeless American phrase that has adorned our coins since 1864. The lettering on some 1967 pennies, particularly in the motto, can show doubling or misstrikes that make the words appear shadowed or thicker than normal. This is often a sign of a double die variety, which can dramatically increase the coin's value. Collectors love these subtle but powerful variations, and if yours is graded high, you could be looking at a serious payday. Now let's talk money. So, how much are these coins actually selling for in today's market? Recent auctions show that high-grade 1967 pennies with desirable errors are in strong demand. Here are a few real-world examples. A 1967 Lincoln cent with a double die obverse in MS 65 red sold at auction for over $1,200. Another specimen with an off-center strike and full detail brought in for $50. Even standard coins graded MS 67 red have crossed the $200 to $350 mark. Collectors are paying a premium for verified and graded coins, especially those certified by major grading companies like PCGS, NGC, or ANAX. If you have a coin you believe might be rare, it's worth getting it authenticated and graded. That small investment could multiply your return significantly. So how do you know if you've got a valuable 1967 penny? Here's a quick checklist. Condition: is the coin shiny, uncirculated, or without scratches? Errors: do you see anything unusual in the lettering, especially "In God We Trust" or "Liberty"? Strike quality: is the image crisp, and are there any doubled features? Color: is it bright red, copper, or has it turned brown over time? Bright red coins tend to be worth more. Get it graded. If you think it's rare, send it in for professional evaluation. If you're a coin collector or thinking about getting started, the 1967 penny is a great place to begin. It's affordable, widely available, but has enough rare variations to keep it interesting and profitable. Here are some collecting tips. Always store coins in a cool, dry place using non-PVC holders. Avoid cleaning your coins, it reduces their value. Attend local coin shows, auctions, or online forums to learn and connect with experts. Invest in a magnifying glass and start examining your change. Treasure could be hiding in plain sight. The 1967 Lincoln Memorial Penny is a perfect example of how everyday objects can carry deep historical value and surprising financial worth. From its connection to Abraham Lincoln and the motto, "In God We Trust," to its market appeal in the world of rare era coins, this little cent proves that big things can come in small packages. So next time you're handed a penny, take a closer look. You might just be holding a $1,200 coin in your hand. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another episode of Hidden Coin Treasures. Share your own finds or questions in the comments below. We love hearing your stories. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1979 1-cent Lincoln penny, a coin that might just be sitting in your pocket change or buried at the bottom of a jar, and it could be worth over $1,200. That's right. A simple penny, yes, just 1 cent, from 1979, can fetch you thousands of times its face value. But how? What makes this coin so special? What should you look for? And how can you tell if you've struck copper gold? Let's uncover the full story behind one of America's most underestimated coins. This is the 1979 Lincoln cent, and it's worth much more than just a cent. The Lincoln penny has a long and proud history in American coinage. First introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure rather than the traditional Lady Liberty. By 1979, the Lincoln cent had already become a household staple, a coin that most people used every day without thinking twice. But not all 1979 pennies are created equal. The 1979 penny features the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, a design that has become iconic. On the reverse, we see the Lincoln Memorial, a design by Frank Gasparro, which had been used since 1959. And of course, emblazoned across the top is the motto, "In God We Trust," a symbol of American faith and resilience. But here's where it gets interesting. Most 1979 Lincoln cents are worth just face value, 1 cent. But a small number of them are worth hundreds to thousands of dollars, thanks to rare errors, variations in the minting process, and their exceptional condition. There are 3 major mint marks for the 1979 penny. No mint mark, made in Philadelphia. D. Mint mark, made in Denver. S. Mint mark, made in San Francisco. Now, here's the golden detail. The proof coins minted in San Francisco and some special error coins are what collectors are hunting for. Let's start with errors. These are not mistakes to toss out. These are treasures. Point 1 of the most valuable 1979 pennies is the 1979 Lincoln cent with a double die obverse, DDO. This error happens when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned slightly during production, causing the letters and numbers to appear doubled. Look closely at "In God We Trust" or "Liberty" and the date, 1979. If you see a ghosted double image, you might be holding a coin worth over $1,000. Then there's the off-center strike, another minting error where the coin wasn't centered properly during stamping. The more off-center, the rarer and more valuable the coin becomes. If you have a 1979 penny with a 50% off-center strike and a visible date, it could be worth hundreds of dollars. Another hot variation is the 1979 S-Type 2 proof penny, also known as the Clear S variety. Early in 1979, the San Francisco Mint used a mint mark that was somewhat blurry or filled in. Later, they corrected this with a more refined, Clear S mint mark. That clearer version is much rarer and highly sought after by collectors. So, how much can a 1979 penny be worth in today's market? Let's break it down. A regular 1979 penny with no errors and heavy circulation. Just a penny. A 1979 penny in mint state condition, say MS 65 or higher. Around $5 to $20, depending on the mint mark. A 1979 D penny in pristine condition, no scratches or wear, graded MS 67. These can sell for $100 or more at auction. A 1979 S Type 2 proof penny in perfect PR 70 condition. Now we're talking serious value. Some have sold for over $400 to $600. And the double die 1979 penny, or a coin with major mint errors. These can fetch anywhere from $500 to over $1,200, depending on condition and demand. One such coin sold at auction for $1,265, and that was a regular-looking penny at first glance, until a collector noticed the doubling and submitted it for grading. Grading, by the way, is crucial. Having your coin certified by a trusted service like PCGS or NGC can make all the difference in sale price. So, how can you spot a valuable 1979 penny? Look for the mint mark under the date. No mark means Philly. D means Denver. S means San Francisco. Check for doubling in the text and date. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Inspect the centering of the design. Is it off? That could mean a valuable strike error. Look at the coin's condition. The fewer nicks, scratches, and signs of wear, the higher the value. Consider submitting it for professional grading if you believe it could be rare. Remember, coin collecting is about patience and detail. You never know what treasure you might uncover. The 1979 penny reminds us of something very important. Value is not always about face value. Sometimes, it's about rarity, craftsmanship, history, and a little bit of luck. Coins like the 1979 Lincoln Cent hold stories in their metal. They are not just currency, they are a reflection of American culture, evolution in minting technology, and symbols of everyday miracles, because you never know what might be sitting unnoticed in your pocket or hiding in that dusty coin jar. So go check your coins right now. That 1979 penny you've been overlooking? It might just be worth $1,200. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and let us know in the comments if you've ever found a rare or valuable coin. Have you checked your 1979 pennies? Have a story to share? Drop it below. We love hearing from the community, and don't forget to check out our other videos on rare coins that could be hiding in your change. Until next time, keep collecting, stay curious, and happy treasure hunting. Today, we're diving into a very special coin, the 1982 1-cent Lincoln penny, and get this, some of these little copper coins are selling for as much as $1,200 or even more in top condition. Yes, you heard that right. Just 1 cent could be worth over $1,000, but what makes this 1982 penny so special? Why are collectors willing to pay so much? And how can you tell if you've got the jackpot sitting in your drawer? Let's break it all down. Make sure you stick around until the end. We'll be showing you how to identify the rare and valuable 1982 penny, plus the current market trends and tips for selling if you've got one. Let's rewind the clock back to 1982. Ronald Reagan was president. Michael Jackson's Thriller was about to change music history. And at the US Mint, something major happened with the humble penny. 1982 was a transition year for the Lincoln Cent. Up until this point, pennies were made mostly of copper, specifically 95% copper and 5% zinc. But copper prices were on the rise, and it became too expensive to make pennies out of copper. So the US Mint made a historic change. In 1982, they began producing pennies with a new composition, 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating. In other words, a much cheaper, lighter coin. Here's the twist though, 1982 was a split year. The Mint produced both copper and zinc versions of the penny that year. Even crazier, they made 7 different varieties of the 1982 Lincoln Cent. Yes, 7. And that's where things start to get really interesting. So here's what happened. In 1982, the Mint created pennies with 2 different metal compositions, copper and zinc, but that's not all. There were also 2 different font styles used for the date on the coin, large date and small date. And these variations occurred in both the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. So let's count that up: 1982 large date copper, 1982 small date copper, 1982 large date zinc, 1982 small date zinc, 1982 D large date copper, 1982 D large date zinc, 1982 D small date zinc. Notice something. There's no officially known 1982 D small date copper penny. But that's where the rarity comes in, because in 2017, something unbelievable happened. A man named Paul Malone was sorting through coins when he stumbled upon what appeared to be a 1982 D small date copper penny. This shouldn't exist. According to the US Mint, all 1982 D small date pennies were made from zinc.so naturally. He had it tested. And yes, it was confirmed to be a genuine small date Denver Mint penny struck on a copper planchet. Only a few of these have ever been discovered. This coin is considered an error or a transitional mistake, and collectors go wild for these types of coins. In top mint state condition, one of these 1982 D small date copper pennies sold for $18,800 at auction, but even more common 1982 penny varieties, in pristine condition, can fetch $100 to $1,200 depending on grade, demand, and certification. So how can you tell if your 1982 penny is valuable? Here's a step-by-step guide. Check the mint mark. Look under the year on the front of the penny. If it has a D for Denver or no mint mark at all, Philadelphia, that's your first clue. Determine the date size. Is it a large date or small date? This can be subtle. The small date has a slightly taller and thinner 8, and the 2 in 1982 has a more curved tail. Test the metal composition. Weigh the coin. Copper pennies weigh about 3.11 grams. Zinc pennies weigh about 2.5 grams. Use a digital scale that measures to 2 decimal places. If your 1982 D small date penny weighs 3.11 grams, you might be sitting on a gold mine. Get it certified. If you believe your coin is valuable, send it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. Certified coins fetch much higher prices and are trusted in the marketplace. As of 2025, here's what some of the 1982 pennies are fetching. Common copper or zinc 1982 pennies in circulated condition are typically worth face value, but in uncirculated or mint state condition, you're looking at $1 to $50. A certified 1982 small date copper penny can sell for $100 to $600 depending on grade. A 1982 D small date copper penny, the ultra rare one, has sold at auction for $10,000 to nearly $19,000. Mint state 67 and above. Examples of any 1982 penny variety, especially with full red color, can go for $1,200 or more. The key to maximizing value: condition, rarity, and certification. So, what does all this mean? It means you might be holding a piece of American coin history in your hand without even realizing it. That little 1982 penny could be worth a fortune if it's one of the rare types. So go check your change jars, your dresser drawers, even that old piggy bank you forgot about. And if you find a 1982 penny, weigh it. Look closely. It might just change your life. If you learned something new today or want more videos like this on valuable coins, give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on the next hidden treasure. Drop a comment below. Have you ever found a rare penny? Do you have any 1982 coins in your collection? Let's talk about it. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy hunting. Today's video, we're diving deep into the world of US coinage to uncover the fascinating story behind the 1983 1-cent coin, famously known as the Lincoln Memorial Penny. Believe it or not, some of these ordinary-looking pennies are worth over $1,200, and in some cases, even more. That's right, a coin that cost just 1 cent to spend in 1983 could now be your ticket to serious cash. So, if you have an old jar of coins sitting in your house, you'll definitely want to stick around for this one. Let's rewind the clock. The year is 1983. Ronald Reagan is in the White House. The internet doesn't exist yet. Gas is just over $1. And the US Mint is producing billions of pennies. The 1983 Lincoln cent continues the long tradition of featuring President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a design that had been in use since 1959. But here's where it gets interesting. Prior to 1982, pennies were made primarily of 95% copper. However, due to rising metal costs, the US Mint made a major change. Starting mid-1982, pennies were struck on zinc planchets coated with copper. That change carried over into 1983, and that small change set the stage for some extremely valuable era coins. Now let's talk about why a 1983 penny might be worth more than $1,000. The key lies in two major factors, eras and rarity. First up, the 1983 double die reverse. This is where things get hot. A small number of 1983 pennies minted in Philadelphia have a strong doubling on the reverse side, specifically in the words 1 cent, e pluribus unum, and United States of America. This is known as a double die error, and it's a highly sought-after variety by collectors. Coins with this error have been known to sell for over $1,200, depending on their condition. One high-grade example in mint state, MS-65, has even gone for close to $2,000 at auction. If you think that's wild, just wait. The second treasure is the 1983 copper penny error. Since all pennies from 1983 were supposed to be made with a zinc core, any 1983 penny that weighs significantly more, around 3.1 grams instead of 2.5 grams, may have been mistakenly struck on an old copper planchet left over from 1982. This mint error is extremely rare, and collectors go absolutely crazy for it. One such coin reportedly sold for over $15,000 at auction. That's right, 1 cent turned into 15 grand. So now you're probably wondering, how do you find one of these valuable coins? Here's how to spot the golden, or should we say copper, ticket. Check for doubling. Take a good look at the reverse side of your 1983 penny. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. If you notice any doubling on the lettering, you may have a double die variety. Compare it to photos of verified double die examples online. Weigh your coin. Use a precision digital scale. A standard 1983 penny should weigh around 2.5 grams. If your coin weighs closer to 3.1 grams, you might be holding a copper planchet error, and that could be worth a fortune. Mint mark. The most famous 1983 double die comes from the Philadelphia Mint, which means the coin has no mint mark below the date. That's another thing to check. Coin condition. The better the condition, the higher the value. Collectors prefer coins with little to no wear. Coins graded MS-63 to MS-65 and above are considered premium quality and can fetch higher prices. As of now, in 2025, the coin collecting market remains strong. Inflation, investment in tangible assets, and renewed interest in numismatics have all contributed to higher values. The 1983 double die penny consistently sells for $300 to $1,200, depending on grade. Certified coins from professional grading services like PCGS or NGC are highly desirable. Meanwhile, the 1983 copper planchet error penny is even more elusive and valuable. These coins are typically found only through precise weight testing, and when authenticated, can command anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 or more. Online marketplaces like eBay, heritage auctions, and great collections have seen bidding wars over high-grade or error 1983 pennies. One recent example includes a PCGS MS-65 red double die reverse 1983 penny selling for just over $1,200. So what should you do if you think you have one of these valuable coins? Start by examining your change jars, your old coin collections, or even coins inherited from family members. Weigh your 1983 pennies, inspect them under magnification, and compare them to known error examples. If you think you've found a rare variety, send it in for grading and authentication. Services like PCGS or NGC will not only verify the coin's authenticity but also preserve it in a tamper-proof case, increasing its value. And if you're lucky enough to find one of these rare gems, you could turn a single cent into a four-figure payday, or even more. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss out on future videos about coin values, rare finds, and the hidden treasures that might be sitting right in your pocket. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you're on the hunt for the 1983 1-cent treasure. Until next time, happy collecting, and may your change always bring you wealth. Today, we're diving deep into the world of one of the most unassuming yet highly valuable modern coins in America, the 2014 1-cent Lincoln penny. Yes, you heard that right. Just a single cent from 2014, with the familiar face of Abraham Lincoln, could be worth over $1,200 today. Sounds unbelievable. Stay tuned, because we're about to explore why this ordinary coin is so valuable, what makes certain varieties rare, and how you can identify one of these precious coins in your own collection. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, because by the end of this video, you might be rushing to check your spare change. Let's start with a little background on the 2014 Lincoln cent. The Lincoln cent has been in continuous circulation since 1909, that's over a Century of American history captured in a single coin. Designed originally by Victor David Brenner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Fast forward to 2014, and the design still honors Lincoln on the obverse, with "In God We Trust" displayed prominently above his head, a motto that's both iconic and symbolic of American values. But while millions of these coins were minted in 2014, with production happening at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, only a few special coins from that year stand out as exceptionally valuable. Now, you're probably wondering, what could make a coin from just 2014 worth over $1,000? The answer lies in a combination of factors: mint errors, high-grade condition, rare die varieties, market demand. Let's break those down. Mint errors are mistakes that happen during the manufacturing process at the U.S. Mint. These are accidental, unintentional, and often one of a kind. Some of the most valuable 2014 pennies have major mint errors, such as off-center strikes, where the coin image is misaligned, double die obverse, where the design appears doubled, especially noticeable in the words "In God We Trust," or Liberty, die cracks or cuds, where broken dies leave extra metal marks on the surface. For example, one 2014 penny with a dramatic off-center strike sold for over $1,200 at auction, due to its unique appearance and rarity. Another example, 2014 D penny with a strong double die in the motto "In God We Trust," fetched nearly $800 in near-mint condition. Collectors go wild for these errors, and because they are so rare, they command premium prices in the marketplace. Next up, grade. If your 2014 penny is in mint state, especially MS 67 or higher, it could be worth hundreds, even without a visible error. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale. A grade of 60 means the coin is uncirculated, but a grade of 67 or 68 means it's not only uncirculated but also nearly perfect. Only a handful of 2014 pennies are graded MS 68 red by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. These coins are extremely difficult to find because they require pristine condition and flawless luster, no scratches, spots, or blemishes. Recently, a 2014 D Lincoln Cent graded MS 68 red sold for over $1,250, setting a record for modern Lincoln Cents of this year. So, what's the market like right now? As of early 2025, the market for error coins and high-grade modern cents is booming. Collectors are actively searching for rare varieties and missed strikes from recent years, not just the old classics. Here's the current value breakdown for high-end 2014 pennies. MS 65 red, $20 to $35. MS 67 red, $150 to $300. MS 68 red, $1,000 to $1,250. Major error coins, $500 to $1,200 plus, depending on severity. The market is being driven by younger collectors entering the hobby, online auctions growing in popularity, and a renewed interest in American coin history. So if you happen to find a 2014 penny that looks slightly off, or it's in pristine shape, don't spend it, get it graded. Want to find one of these rare coins? Here's what to do: check your change jar. Most people overlook pennies, so they end up stashed in drawers and cups. Look for obvious errors, off-center designs, doubling, odd metal marks. Examine the motto. Pay close attention to "In God We Trust." Doubling here is a key signal. Use a magnifying glass or USB microscope. These help spot minor but valuable details. Get it graded. If you think you've found something rare, send it to PCGS or NGC for authentication. So there you have it. The 2014 1-cent Lincoln penny might be hiding in plain sight, waiting to reward you with a small fortune. Whether it's a dramatic mint error or a near-perfect MS 68 coin, the value could easily reach $1,200 or more. This is what makes coin collecting so exciting. Even the smallest, most overlooked items can be worth a surprising amount. It's not just about the money, either. It's about holding a piece of history, a piece of art, and a piece of American culture in your hand. So next time you get change at the store or dig through an old coin jar, remember, that little copper penny could be your next big discovery. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful or fascinating, give it a big thumbs up and share it with your fellow collectors. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into valuable coins, collecting tips, and real stories from the world of numismatics. Have you ever found a rare 2014 penny or any valuable modern coin? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, keep searching, keep learning, and as always, happy collecting.